music fills the air, echoing through the night. Heavy footsteps in the background, shadows taking flight. Searching for cryptids in the dark we roam. Whisper O.C.S.T, calling them home. Lost in the wilderness, chasing the unknown.
Watchdogs.
Early music fills the air, echoing through the night.
Squatch dogs.
Whispers in the woods where shadows play. Legends come alive at the break of day. Footsteps echo loud but no one's there. Bigfoot's lurking in the midnight air. Dark house beneath the moonlit gloom. Eyes that shine like fire in a room of doom. Poltergeist dancing, moving through the halls. Ancient secrets breaking through the walls. O.C.S.T is more than a name. Bigfoot and stuff, it's a whole new game. Chasing the truth in a silent night. Empowered by the mystery, fueled by the fright. Cryptids in your mind, let your wonder grow. The hidden world is ours to know. From the forest deep to the attic's dust, O.C.S.T, we're learning to trust. Tracks in the snow where the brave won't tread. Hidden voices calling from the things we've read. The unknown things with a haunting sound, empowering us as the tales go around. O.C.S.T is more than a name. Bigfoot and stuff, it's a whole new game. Chasing the truth in a silent night. Empowered by the mystery, fueled by the fight. O.C.S.T, it's more than a name. Bigfoot and stuff, it's a whole new game. Chasing the truth in the silent night. Empowered by the mystery, fueled by the fight. Fueled by the fight.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to O.C.S.T.
Bigfoot and stuff.
I'm your host, Harold.
And I'm Christy.
How's everybody doing? Hope you had a good week. Let's see.
It's been a week.
Yeah, it's been a week, all right. Let's see. Let's get to roll call. We've already got 7 people in here.
Yay, 7 people.
Yay. Amanda's
Crazy, scary, trouble life.
It's good to see you.
Hey, Amanda, what's up, girlfriend? Who's next? Who's next?
Sharon Guy.
Sharon Guy.
Great to see you, Sharon. Hopefully you did have the day off and got to relax a little bit.
And hopefully she went to the dollar store and got us some gummy stuff.
Yeah. And some cherry sours.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Let's see.
I think our daughter-in-law
Yeah,
was in there.
Cat with K.
Hey, Cat.
Cat. Who else? Ramona, Elder Medicine Bear Claw.
Ramona.
Tansi,
Bonito.
great to see you. Who else?
Geez, Amanda just saying hi to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Look at her.
We got CERT instructor Ron.
Hello, Ron. How's
you
it
doing,
going,
Ron?
buddy?
Great to see you. Let's see. Who else?
Who else? Who else? That's Roger Blair. Hey, Roger.
Hey, Roger.
How's it going?
Great to see you. Hope you're doing well.
I think Linda's the next one in, but I could be wrong. See, everybody saying hi to everybody. We love that. Hey, Belinda. I told you. Hey, Belinda. Hi, Belinda. Just at Mom's having lunch, saying hi and listening. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
So we said hi to the mom, too.
Yeah. All right. It's been a eventful past week.
Hey, Belinda, what is your mom's name? And we can give her a shout out really softly.
Yep.
Hey, Cat's mom. How are you?
Hey,
or
Cat Mom. Good to see you. Waving hand.
It's not. Your hand's not pink though.
It's close.
You need one of those gloves that's all sparkly and pink.
Oh yeah.
Maybe. Here, let's do it this way.
You want me to do that?
Sure.
Well, just want to say, people, if you could send out a few prayers for a couple of people. First up, we have our friend Jay. His wife Janet had surgery today. Don't know how it went just yet, so give a prayer out to Janet.
Yeah.
For
I'm not even sure what kind
recovery.
I'm not even sure kind of surgery it was, but nevertheless, Elsa. Hello, Elsa.
Cat Mom's in the middle of a snowstorm in Ohio.
Yeah, you can. Oh, Cat Mom, please keep it there.
Yeah.
Elsa. Hey, Elsa. Much love from Oklahoma. And then my brother Robbie, our preacher that's been preaching at our church for 50-some years, he had back surgery today.
Yeah.
And I don't know I don't know anything. I haven't been on Facebook much today, but if you guys are praying type, please pray for Brother Robbie so he can heal. And so he had back surgery in his neck to fuse or to relieve pressure off his spinal cord, because he's got kind of like a disc narrowing disease, kind of like I do. And this is for entertainment purposes only. But it was pushing on his spinal cord that was making his hands and feet go numb. So
it didn't help that he got in a wreck.
Yeah, it didn't help that he got into an accident either. But anyway.
But prayers out for him. Plus, if y'all could give a prayer or two out for us. Our van is not working properly. Just pray that there's not a whole lot wrong with it. We're supposed to be hopefully getting it worked on in the next few days. So
thank you, Ron. And yes, they always do help.
Yeah, they do. They always help.
Keep Cat Mom safe up there in Ohio with that weather.
Yeah.
Things. We heard about the snow that's coming. So we don't need snow here. It's quite chillier here today. Yesterday it was almost 80 degrees. Today it's like,
But the
Not-
quicker the snow happens, the quicker winter is over with, because we usually get 2 snows.
We don't need any snow though.
We usually get 2 snows in a
We
winter.
don't need any snow. We do not need any snow. Rain, yes, snow, no.
Well, I could at least hold off until we get the fan fixed. But,
Leave me.
I wouldn't mind some, so I can go try again.
We don't need any snow. Track all you want out there somewhere else. You don't need any snow. Okay. But yeah, so that's what's going on.
Yeah.
A lot of crazy. So we had one of Cammy's co-workers, husband's boyfriend, I don't know what he is, but came and looked at the van today. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bump the thing. And he's supposed to get with Cammy and tell him his set price.
Yep.
And hopefully either we can pay him in installments or whatever it may be. And hopefully he can fix it without having to send it to a mechanic.
Yeah, because we were on the way home the other day and smelled something burning. And sure enough, the valve gaskets blew and spewed oil all over the front of the engine. And
So I'm hoping the engine's not wrecked. Yeah. But anyway, I'm not going to talk about that anymore. It just makes me very frustrated and very stressed out, and I don't want that right now.
So,
so it's been a week.
Mm-hmm. It's been a week.
Somebody tell me something happy right now. I'm not doing my segment yet. No, just something happy.
Something happy. We got to host today's show.
Besides, we always get to host the show. I don't foresee anybody else hosting the show. Connor's working, even though he said he wanted to.
Yeah. So y'all say hi to Connor, because he's probably watching.
Work. Yeah.
He's probably got it on, but he's working at the same time. So, hi, Connor.
Hey, Cat, we can hear you. Turn it down. I can hear our show in there.
Yeah.
I have an amazing youngest. You're funny.
Sharon says, Christy got my house clean today. That makes me happy.
You gonna come clean mine? Lunch tastes great. Yay!
Lunch tastes great.
Okay, so that's not the segment, but we'll be doing this again a little bit later. But Thanks for making me smile, you guys.
Doing that at the top of the hour.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's 7 o'clock.
Yeah, and this time I need to remember to turn on the microphone so I can tape her segment, because I taped her segment last week and didn't realize I didn't turn the mic on. So it didn't tape on the video camera.
This is me being happy. I told him not to worry about it. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't work too hard.
I haven't had time to clean mine. I haven't had the energy to clean mine.
Yeah.
And the reason we were going to Guthrie on Sunday was to get parts for our oven.
Yep. And then
they didn't have them.
They didn't have them, and we got home and.
Hey, Jim. How are you?
Poo-poo. Hey, Jim.
Welcome in.
Camera it down.
Hi, John.
Y'all
leaving work and driving, but I'll be listening. Drive carefully, brother dear.
Yeah. Y'all make sure you check out both of Jim's channels on YouTube. Jim's Camera at Dawn and
Jim's Camera at Music.
Jim's Camera at Music.
Yes. They're pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well just post a link, see if Jim wants to come up.
Well, he's driving. I don't know.
No. I don't think Jim's driving. John is driving.
Oh, John's driving.
Well,
Yeah.
if Jim's driving
Well,
too, that's cool. I mean,
I definitely know John won't be coming up when he's driving.
I'm not saying nothing. There you go.
Okay. Links
go.
in the chat. So if you want to come up here and join us, you're more than welcome. Just click on the link, and you don't have to have your camera on. Just turn it off like that.
And if you do open the link, open it in Google Chrome.
Yep.
It helps.
Yeah. There's no issues when you hit the link off of Google Chrome. But if you hit the link off of any other browser, it usually mutes your sound and your video. So, and
Which
or
is
your
crazy.
video. Yeah, it's crazy, but gotta love technology.
No.
So today, the cryptid side of the show today, I was scrolling through Facebook. Was it yesterday?
Hi, Connor's on. Hey, Connor.
Hey, Connor. I was scrolling through Facebook yesterday, and I came across a post where this person posted that they ran into a deceased Bigfoot, and they supposedly took pictures of this thing. Don't know if, believe it or not, with today's AI, what was questionable about the image was one picture the mouth is open, the other picture the mouth is closed. Not in a way that would be depicted in real life. Those of you that have seen deceased humanoids know that at least when we pass, we have what's called the death face. Don't like mentioning that, but it's a part of life and a part of going to the other side. When you pass, you have what they call a death face, and it doesn't change on its own. Yes, there are twitches in the muscle structure and all that, but not to the effect of it. If this creature's been gone for a while, it's not going to change. It's going to go through the stiffening of the muscles. It's going to where the only way that the mouth can be changed in the eyes, the eyelids open or closed, is by force. And I don't think something that big would have passed with a smile on its face. The way it was laying looked like it was surprised, if it was even real. But I was debating whether or not to post the picture. I can post the pictures on here because I have the name of the person that posted. So let me try that real quick. Let's see. I can go into here.
Okie Smokey.
I gotta figure out. I've forgotten how to do this. Okay, here we go.
I thought you would have it in the.
No, because I don't have enough spaces.
Okay.
I'll get this right. Hold on. Maybe not. Okay, that's for video. I don't want to get that. Image. Here we go. Okay, here's the first one. Let me put it full screen so I get the face or the name of the person that posted the picture. And I guess it's not going to show it, but okay. Great.
It's in ours, so they should know. It's
Well,
Oliver Quick or whatever his name
I have
is.
to get rid of the crawl. So just a second. Okay. So there we are. No.
It's still there?
But I had to get rid of the crawl in order for the whole thing to show. Now, if you notice, there's a few things that give it away as AI. First off, the absent flow of fur from the chin area down to
John goes fake.
down to the neck. That right then and there screams AI or costume dummy.
Connor says it's creepy looking.
But because of the changing of the mouth, which I will show you in just a second if I can exit out of this. Okay, this is not cooperating.
It's down here.
No, it's not cooperating. It's right here. Okay. So go on with this. Here.
Image.
And number 2. It's picture number 2.
What's it doing?
I don't know. Yeah, lovely when the computer doesn't want to cooperate.
Okay, just exit.
No, because I'm trying to. There, finally. Okay. As soon as it gets done processing, I might be able to show it.
It's white. Ron goes, well, been some fakes for sure. And then Sharon Guy goes, I believe that AI it's green looking.
No, they tried to make this look realistic with the features, and then I don't want to.
Nothing is showing.
I don't want to get flagged. Nothing is showing, but it's still processing. But if this picture decides to show up, you'll notice on the picture the general area. they went so far as to try to make it look like it's been taken away. As clean as I can say it, but yeah, I'll go ahead and post the pictures after the show. I'll put them on O.C.S.T post so that y'all can check them out. But yeah, to me they're just, they scream AI all over. Trying to exit out of this now. Well, so there's something new with this computer week after week. It's not letting me exit out. There, finally. Okay. Remove. Remove. And we're back. Sorry if that last photo wasn't going through, but the computer was running really slow. But yeah, Ron, you're right. Sadly, people think they can fool all the believers. Yeah, seen it for years. But someone trying to take credit for it being real just puts a bad, not just a bad name out there for researchers and investigators, but it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth for dishonesty is not a good virtue.
Hello, Tyler.
Hey, Tyler. But I'm also going to throw this out there. If that person says that they're real and they want to prove it, then they're always welcome to come on to O.C.S.T, Bigfoot and stuff, and come on live and plead their case. But till then, yeah, I'm leaning towards it being AI. It's just too many questions about about the way that it looks, the way that the person came across it, the way they explain in their posts about how it's how they came across it and took pictures and wanted to get it out to everyone. Well, in certain channels you might be able to do so, but if you're posting it just raw, yeah, you're going to be visited really quick by people higher up than you know.
Hi, CP. And Ron liked the link.
Yeah.
He goes, if you have a moment, let me know. I want to share a couple of things.
Okay.
Share the link.
Okay, Ron. Come on up and share some things that you're wanting to. More than welcome. You're always welcome. Anybody else wants to join? All right, here we go. Hey, Ron.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. Yeah, this kind of stuff has been going on for years, and I can say, let me turn my phone off or turn it down. But, anyways, a lot of these things have been going on for years, and people don't realize that in some cases, being a, I investigated the Oklahoma City bombing, and I've dealt with the FBI, CIA, and other intelligence agencies over the years.
Yeah.
And they always have these people that kind of rile the people up and to get them to question reality for one.
Mm-hmm.
That's their whole goal, is to make people think that you don't know what's really going on. And there's a lot of that goes on. But one of the things I wanted to talk to you about is that there's a guy that contacted me and wanted me on a show as a speaker. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. I've been a trainer, all kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
took on a lot of controversy and issues, so to speak. But with that said, I gave the guy your name as well to talk to
Right.
on his show and a few others. So I wanted to tell you all about that. And I don't know if you contacted the guy. If not, I'll text you guys number.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
talk to him.
He ended up messaging me personally.
Right.
So, yeah, I've talked with him a little bit.
Yeah. And so I think he's trying to do a series and a lot of things like you're trying to do. So there's people I know that have good hearts that are looking for the right people to connect with and get information. So I think this guy could probably do a lot for you. So I would advise you. I didn't know if you'd contacted him. I figured you had, but the other thing too, I don't know if you know Tanya Kordick. She does the Bigfoot Museum here in Oklahoma. They call it the Bigfoot Enigma Research Center and Museum. A mouthful. But anyways, they've got a couple of events coming up this year, and I think they want me to speak on the 28th of February. Unless that changes. So, haven't heard all the details yet, but I'm working on a presentation for them. And what they want to do is talk about, and this is right up my alley with parapsychology, the woo. And so I've basically covered it, proven that by documents that not only do documents support it, but sort of experiments that telepathy is a real deal. And a lot of people have experienced these things encrypted. So that's some of what's going on. But anyways, I don't have a whole lot more to say, but I want to ask you how that camera was working out for you.
Well, I tried to use it last week during the show for Christy's little segment she started, and I forgot to turn the volume on. So yeah, still learning the kinks of it, but I tried the night vision. Yeah, night vision's going to work out. I just have to get me a better flashlight. I purchased a couple of flashlights, and one of them, the best one that I couldn't wait to use, when I went to use it, it broke. So
I'll tell you what I did, and I've got a camera. I can pull it out and show you. I've got it with my gear. And the problem is that once you get too much gear, I think I'm probably in the neighborhood of about 7 or 8 different cameras that I've acquired over the years. And so the issue then becomes you try to function on all of them at the same time with the same camera. And it's kind of like, you miss a gear, so to speak, and you forget you got to plug something in. But I will tell you, there's a flashlight that I bought, and this has been about 5 or 6 years ago. And I mounted it on the outside of the camera for extra light, and it will shine probably 200 yards. And I think that's plenty in most cases.
Oh, yeah.
And so you can focus it in and out, focus the beam. And that might be something you can look at. I can probably send you a link or something on it. And they'll take the, 16 850 batteries. And it'll also take 3 AA batteries. So you can use both batteries. So if you have the battery runs down, you can revert to the AAA size batteries, or if you have another rechargeable battery, to change out the flashlight. So
kind of what we bought.
either way,
I just bought a 1875 or 18 whatever batteries in the charger. They should be out in the mailbox.
Yeah. So yeah. We were waiting on that to come in the mail.
Yeah, I've got like several of them, and there's other lights I have too that are infrared that are powered by those batteries only, and then some will get the little device that goes inside, whatever converter that you can put the AAA in. And I would highly advise you to get one of those. So if something happens on your investigation, the battery dies, then you can cut off, the container, whatever, the adapter, the free AAA batteries. Finish up. That's what I've got. But those are kind of some of the things going on out there that I know, but I wanted you to be aware of, and whatever. But I was curious how that camera worked. And,
once I get all the kinks worked out of it, it's going to work great. As far as my other equipment goes, I'm trying really hard to limit the amount of things that I need to put batteries in so much. I'm trying to do more of the solar charge,
Right.
so that I don't have to carry like 10 pounds of batteries.
Yeah. I've got a vest over here that I wear, and the biggest reason for the vest was carrying other equipment. If you have something IR or whatever, you could put it in the pocket as well as your pants pockets, whatever. But it becomes kind of clumsy. But I always carried extra batteries, and I found, I'll tell you, that using the rechargeable ones really saved a lot of money. And
Oh
so
yeah.
if you go out and have battery drain,
Mhm.
it may come back, it may not, but in any case, you don't have to go out and buy the batteries, because I would charge them every week. And of course, at one time,
Yeah.
when we had our site there in Guthrie, um, and you probably know where it is, where the train station is, just right across from the train station.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we were there every weekend. So I went through a lot of batteries, and I found out very quickly that the best thing to do is have rechargeable batteries. So I think
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think early on, like maybe after the first year I started this channel, I started investing in the rechargeable portable batteries, and I used them quite a bit. Um, Early on, though, the ones I bought didn't last very long, but thankfully they came out with better versions that lasted a lot longer because I still use those. Um, so it's just um, things like well, I don't know, my night vision camera and all that. I didn't get one that uses the rechargeable. I got one that straight uses double A. So
I'm sure you can buy AA rechargeable batteries for it.
yeah, um, but then also my trail cam. I don't know how many batteries I've gone through on that thing.
Yeah, I've done the same thing going deer hunting when I used to do a lot of deer hunting. I still do some.
Hmm.
And every, week, you have to spend like $8 to $10 worth of batteries. And
Hmm.
so the chargeable option is really the best way to go.
Yeah. Um, I'm looking into um, getting the solar powered one. Um, I'm thinking, yeah, I could go with that, but then also there's more that stands out on that, so it's not so hidden. Even though to some of these creatures, it wouldn't matter if it's hidden or not, because
Well, that's true.
yeah.
And that's kind of what I'm covering on the woo. There's a lot of people that in the Bigfoot world have two groups of people. Some that say it's an undiscovered ape, really this long, and we haven't captured it yet. And my thing is um, dealing with the government and things with the bombing and whatever else,
Hmm.
and they lie. I'll tell them to the face. I don't care. But they lie and they cover things up. So even if they had a body, are they going to tell you? And the answer there is no.
Right.
And we go back and we look at things like Operation Northwoods and Operation Paperclip, and what do they do? They lied there. So you can't believe anything they say. And so, yeah, if they had a body, you or me, and most people would know. It'd be, need to know, and we don't need to know, so we're not going to know. And that
Right.
comes from being in the military as well. I can remember seeing things I wasn't supposed to see, and then, you know, um, you would ask, well, was it isn't? I'm not supposed to see, and you get a kind of a description of what you're not to see, and you're like, okay,
Hmm.
and so you're told to basically forget it, kind of thing. So
Yeah.
the government does that with the people all the time, and I think that there's more than enough evidence that we know, and I know, I don't care, through experience that they lie to us.
Right.
So that's the two groups. You have the eight people, then you have these people that think it's paranormal, or they have these paranormal abilities. And I can remember, back in the day, we were Indian students in school. My dad was Cherokee. And so we were told specifically, don't talk about these things. because they're going to think you're a drunk Indian. And I know a bunch of drunk Indians, but you know, I wasn't one of them. And so that's kind of the stigma. So there's always these people that debate whether it's an ape or some sort of a being. And as you know, there's probably a lot of people you've heard accounts from that say that they had an experience with a Bigfoot, but there was paranormal phenomena that went along with that. But not only that, but UFO type activity as well. You know, that's my twin brother.
Mhm.
I'll call him back. But anyways, yeah, and so I think the government's duty, in my opinion, I don't trust them any, and it is to get people fighting over the issues, so you never
Mhm.
can know the truth, and so they put out a lot of disinformation,
Oh yeah.
and through things like social media, they either hire them or it's people on their own fruition that come up with the fake stuff, and then people like you and others that are out there trying to find the truth, it discredits you and makes you look silly, which is
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
That's
And it's just going to keep getting worse and worse with so much footage out there that you're not going to be able to tell the difference after a while. Thankfully, right now you still can, um, but it's getting really hard to decipher it unless you really know what you're looking at and looking for. It's getting a lot harder.
Yeah, I think there's programs out there that can bust AI, but
Yeah.
a lot of people, the biggest thing I say with the American public, and that is people will not question. So whatever source they really listen to, a single source, like some
Mhm.
people in religion, I don't want to knock anybody's religion, but if you don't use the right word, you're going to hell or whatever, name of God or whatever. It's like really, because when we come up with that, we didn't have a J, but yeah, how does that work? And people won't question those things. And I think that's the biggest thing that I see is that uh, a lot of times we lack critical thinking, and that's the whole thing. But
Yeah.
uh, until we can get people to ask questions, I think that we're going to see this probably go on, and there's always going to be people that fool people with either fake or false information just to see if people will fall for it.
Right.
Unfortunately,
The only way you can get anywhere, especially nowadays, is ask questions,
yeah,
and not just a single line of questioning. Question what answers you get back.
yeah, and that's you're absolutely right, and I learned that um, as being an investigator, you have to question um, very few things, but you have to ask who, what, when, where, why, and how, and why would what a person's motive is, and that's usually if they're going to convict somebody of a crime, they're looking for that motive,
Yeah.
and so a lot of people don't do that; they just automatically accept the information they've been given by whatever reliable source they have, which
Right.
a lot of unreliable sources out there. So it's unfortunate that a lot of media is totally controlled, and I found that out. I'll tell you a quick story if you want, and
Sure.
listeners can hear and they can investigate me all they want. I don't care. But we had a guy that was working with 2020, and his name was Roger Charles. And I met with him, and he kind of led the investigation on this Oklahoma City bombing, working with Charles Key. And so the guy was a retired lieutenant colonel in the Marine Corps, as I recall. And I'd sat down with him many times and had many discussions. And so he did an investigation on the Oklahoma City bombing. It's a true story. And so he did a 3-part documentary on what really happened. And we could be here 3 weeks on what really happened. But anyway, so he got this information and he talked to me and Charles Key and other people and interviewed them and our witnesses. And of course, we're all working together. And he used some of that information and put together a 3-part series for 2020. And so in the end, we'll just say somebody that was in the White House, it was a female, married to a certain name with a C. And anyways, so she called ABC and said, don't play that. And if you do play it, these documentaries, it will destroy the American people's faith in the government. And anyway, so Roger Charles is here in Oklahoma City. I think he's passed on now. And so he's waiting for a phone call because we were going to do, when I say we, the OKBIC, I was kind of on the outside working with them. And so they were going to have a media kind of blitz or whatever, with the local news stations here in Oklahoma City. And so Roger's waiting for this show to come on 2020. And so he calls 2020 and he gets a hold of the guy that's not in charge of production, but the airing of whatever on the TV. And he says, "Hey man, what's going on? I don't know the guys." But he told him that he got a phone call from the White House and they were told not to play these videos. So what happened is Roger seriously asked the guy and said, "Well, what phone or what hand do you have the phone in?" And the guy told him, he said, "Good. Reach down with your other hand and see if you can." And immediately the guy was fired. And that's what happens. So what we have is we have controlled media that if you don't preach the right narrative, the truth is never going to get out.
Right.
And so I think there's a lot of things that have been twisted and lied to. And certainly I know I've seen it firsthand, been there, lived it. And, I look at what's going on. It's kind of a different subject. What's going on in Iran right now. And I can tell you that 99.9% of Americans do not know very much, if anything, about Islam, but they think they do. I hear it all the time because I simply ask them, "Well, what's the difference between a Shia and a Sunni?" And they can't tell you, so
Right.
you don't know. And with that said, what's going on, and I think that Trump has to make a decision, and here's that decision, and it is if we go into Iran, which we could do, and totally knock Iran to its foundation. At that point in time, the other Islamic nations or regimes out there that depending on Iran are going to go into conflict, and that's what we're really looking at. And yet, they want Iran to be free, but if it means freedom, it also means that you'll see the same thing that happened in Syria and Iraq. It'll be destabilizing the whole region. And so I think that we're probably going to do that at some point in time. And people are emotional about these things and want it done because they know that these people in Iran need that freedom. And they want that freedom. They don't want us to come in, but if we do, it makes everything unstable. So it goes back to let's control the information so we can control society. I think that every one of those events I talked about absolutely.
Yep. I agree with you on that.
So Ron, I posted your link so people could did you mute him?
No.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I posted your link for your channel so people could subscribe if they would like to. And so yeah. Just want to let
I appreciate that. I don't do a whole lot on YouTube. I do, and a lot of my stuff is CERT, and I'm a CERT instructor with the state, so I go out and I teach people how to survive and prepare for tornadoes and bad events. And there's sometimes I'm very active in doing that, especially when tornado season's around. And then this time of the year, I've been working with Logan County. And of course, they're just north of me, and you know where Logan is because Logan County is where
we live in Logan County.
Yep.
Yeah. And so we're going to do the siren test this Saturday. So I'm usually involved with that and doing Aries, and then also a member of Scottish Rite there in Guthrie. And I've been there. I think I've been there about 25 years now with Scottish Rite, just off the top of my head. And so I'm all about, a couple of things, I guess. People being prepared and ready and steady, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And it really pains me when, people send you stuff. Obviously, I don't know if it's real or not, but let's just say that it's questionable. And it does, and it is fake. We'll just say that it is or isn't, but let's just say it is. That it pains me that people try to pull something on you to make you look bad. And which is unfortunate, really unfortunate, but it certainly does happen.
Yeah, it's the things that you have to put up with when you put your face out here like this and your name, and
Did he really send it to you, or were you just looking
No,
on Facebook?
no,
Oh,
it was
okay.
posted on my feed, but wasn't directed at me. But I'd gotten the link through somebody that posted it that I normally keep up with. But um, it's just somebody like me. I've seen those things up close and personal. So
Right.
um, when you know what to look for as far as making an identification of one, there's a lot of red flags on my
Right.
part, on my in my thinking because of what I've seen, and it's just uh, like I said, if that person wants to go on social media and um, disprove everyone's disbelief of it, then they're more than welcome to come on here. Um, I'm not gonna say that it definitely isn't, but it just shows me red flags.
Yeah, I just say, question everything,
Yeah.
do it suspiciously, and I that's why I take things. So it's like I can tell you, I've been doing this paranormal research stuff for over 40 years, and so I've taken a lot of phone calls from people, and some of you just don't know. You've heard the same thing where you're like, does this really happen? And you don't know.
Mhm.
You're not an eyewitness to it. But what
Right.
you can do is go back and get their information that validates these experiences that everybody's saying that this is typically what happens. So there's probably truth to it. But to go to court and raise your right hand and say, is this a picture of whatever? You can't
Mhm.
say, it's faked or whatever. So I always leave it questionable. And I think that a lot of people, they want to believe so much and they have very little evidence that when you question it, um, they explode. And I've seen it happen with a lot of people with orbs and pictures. And I've worked in audio, video. In fact, I worked with Chris Emery,
Mhm.
and I was his assistant director. And he filmed the documentary about the Oklahoma City A Noble Lie. And to this day, we're still friends. And I'm not going to say that I'm an expert in those kind of things, but I probably know more than a lot of people do. And you can see that if you have a reflection over here and it shoots across the screen and it creates a streak, there's a lot of people who think that streak is a ghost or some form of
Right.
paranormal activity, and it's not. And that's why I say you got to question everything. And I just think it's unfortunate a lot of people won't.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
A lot of people.
definitely. Yeah. Well,
Anyways, that's all I got. So, like I said, the only thing I would say is people need to support people like yourself and others trying to get the truth out, and then people need to support. I would say also, the local or state or whatever places, like the Bigfoot Museum here in Oklahoma. The Bigfoot Enigma Research Center and Museum, and I went to see Tanya, I think, about a month ago. They've got a lot of things there, and they've got stuff set up with. Uh, they have my banner that I had here.
right.
They've got it down there, and so Tanya's wanted me to kind of help out. But if people have paranormal questions, they can call me absolutely. And so they've got alien and Bigfoot stuff and
Mhm.
all things there. So you can learn a lot, and a lot of people have experience. Eugene, that Harold, they come in and they want to just, I'll just say maybe unload and get this burden off.
Mhm.
And so it's people like you and others that are out there trying to do that, help people. And I think that that's a very noble cause to help others.
Yeah.
A lot of
We met Tanya was a year ago
A
in
couple years ago.
November. Yeah. So um at her old location.
yeah,
Um yeah, went there and I met up with a few guys in the um, cryptid research area. Uh, Stayed overnight outside of um,
Never doing that
Talahina.
again.
yeah.
That freaked Christy out a little bit, but
Never doing that again.
I can tell you that I've talked to a number of those people, and you get a sense of people that are really being truthful with you.
Hmm.
And I've had people come up and show me pictures on their cell phones that they took on their property, and they
Yeah.
won't share it with just anybody.
Right.
So if somebody wants to share that with me, that's fine. And I just think it's funny because it goes back to something I wanted to say earlier, did say or whatever, but that is um, people want validation on their experiences. And you and I can't validate those experiences, but
Right.
have we had those experiences? And, when it comes to the woo, for example, a lot of people just shake their eyes and roll their heads or whatever, roll their heads and shake their eyes, whatever. And, as a twin, um, I had a lot of those telepathic experiences myself. And I think it's funny that a lot of people don't believe in telepathy, but if they go research, they'll find out it's real. I did a lot of experiments with that. I worked with a number of psychic mediums back in the day, not because they said, I would test them. And the way I test them a lot of times was I would use Uno cards because they
Hmm.
have on it and they're colored. And I knew two, if not three, that were more than 75% accurate. Somewhere as high as 92 to 98% accurate
Hmm.
in a good mood. And so this is over and over, and you see this, and you're like, what's really going on here? And so we know it's real. And so if people have these experiences, it's well documented in animals as well. If we know that these things happen, and if Bigfoot claims that they have it too, then why would they not have it? It's all quantum entanglement, and people don't get it. And so we've been told that all this stuff is not real. And I don't know, you're a little younger than I am, but you're old enough to know that back in the day, if you saw a UFO,
Hmm.
crazy or smoking, well, we didn't have crack then, but you were drunk or what were you smoking, man?
Hmm.
And so now it's a matter of we know it's real, especially with the UAP stuff. We're going to call them UFOs because we're old people, but yeah, that stuff is absolutely real, and they've been hiding it for years. And back in the 50s, there was a formation of them that flew over, Washington D.C.
Hmm.
And again, it's all controlled information. And if we really question and we figured out that these things are real and our technology is nothing compared to theirs, a lot of people might lose their minds as to, well, who's really in control and why are they controlling? And I think that that's a question we have to ask. And I think it's a lot of the information is now coming out where when you and I were younger, a lot of the information was totally suppressed.
Yeah. Yeah. Back then it was like you getting together with your cousins and, hey, guess what I saw? And,
Yeah.
hey,
Were
yeah,
you
I
drunk?
seen that. I
Yeah.
seen that. Or yeah, what were you drinking?
Yeah. or smoking. Or smoking. My mom had a police scanner. I think I may have mentioned this before. And I grew up in Lawton, and my mom come out and we were all standing on the front porch. And so this was early 80s or late 70s. And she came out, and I was a teenager, and she came out and she said, hey, do you boys see this red light in the sky? And we're like, yeah. And we're looking toward Fort Sill. So we're in South Lawton. And, they always had artillery and whatever else going off there
Hmm.
sometimes in the sky. And what I saw, I remember, is this red light would go up and it would kind of stop and then go back down. And we thought maybe, it's a helicopter or whatever. And it didn't have the usual lights. And come to find out, people called the police and asked them if they were doing that or who was doing it, or the military. And the police ended up calling the military and found out that it wasn't Army craft because, last time I checked, unless things have changed now, Army doesn't have any fixed wing stuff. They
Right.
have drones now, but they do have rotary,
Hmm.
vehicle, and it wasn't a helicopter. And we thought maybe that's what it was, but it wasn't. And so they dispatched a couple of fighter planes from Altus Air Force Base, and he disappeared. And I think it was in the paper, that I don't know how many people saw it, but I think there was a report in the paper, and that's all it was said, that this suspicious red light, they don't know what it was, but they wouldn't say a UFO or anything else. They just acknowledged it. And I think that's what they do. And I think you go back and you look at things like the Flatwood Monster and that case in Kentucky, that it was the same thing. They left out a lot of critical information that people haven't experienced. So, how are we ever going to get the truth? And I think it's people like you and others that try to really go out there and get the truth out. It's a struggle because there is a lot of things like you were talking about. That Bigfoot picture, that's probably fake. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying I'm kind of like him looking and going, it kind of looks AI to me, but could it be? I could be wrong, but I really don't think so.
Right.
But I've never seen a Bigfoot as close as you have. I have seen them in the distance. I think the closest one I ever saw was probably maybe 30 yards at most. You know,
yeah, that's still pretty close. I mean,
yeah, but you know, what really got me was that the one I saw was large and gray, and I seen his back turn, and he was going around a tree, and as he turned, I got his whole side, and his whole side was probably as wide as I'll say a large refrigerator, just his side, and that really didn't freak me out. I wasn't scared. And then after that, I had some other encounters with them, but they never scared me. But I will tell you, I'll go on record and say, whether people believe it or not, I don't care, because I can certainly defend myself with the facts, and that is that I have had telepathic communications with them, and I have talked to a number of people with you. And it really goes back to quantum entanglements. I really do.
Right. Yeah, I had the one experience when I first started. I did my very first taping for O.C.S.T, and that I'd never experienced it before to that extent, right? To where, because I've dealt with the paranormal many times in my life growing up, but at that point, it came out of nowhere. It was in broad daylight, and just wanting to go and film. That's all I wanted to do, is go out there and film, and without expecting to see anything. And I walk into that area. I attempt to walk into that area. I take one step, and all of a sudden, something in my head, some voice goes, "No, don't go in there." And it's not my voice, you know.
Yeah.
Because usually when you talk to yourself, you know you're talking to yourself. Well, this came out of nowhere and just said, "No, don't go in there." So not only did I hesitate myself, I stopped, but when I actually tried to move again, I couldn't move. I was paralyzed standing there, and this thing telling me, "No, don't go in there." So the only thing it allowed me to do was turn the other direction and walk away.
Yeah.
And I didn't dare go back to that spot, because that had never happened to me like that before, besides hearing EVPs and things like that from the spirit realm and all that, you know. But for something to get in my head and literally give me a command, yeah, that's not a normal thing that happens.
You know, I had the same thing happen to me. We had some property, and it was my grandma's property. And so, anyways, we were deer hunting, and it was about 30 years ago. And I knew where the deer came. And my father-in-law was hunting with me. God rest his soul, really good man. And he really loved God. He really did. But anyways, long story short, he's off in the woods somewhere else about, maybe 50 yards away from me. And there's a deer trail, and it was a cow trail too. And the deer would come through that trail. And I told him, I said, well, just sit back on that trail, and you got a pretty good view. And if you see one, shoot it, you know, kind of thing. And thank God he did, because I have a heck of a time dragging it out. But we went together. And so anyways, long story short, so there's another deer trail, and I'm on it, and the cows come down that, and I've seen the deer on the trail, and I was in the woods maybe most 20 yards, and I hear something walking, but I know it's bipedal. It's not like an animal like a cow, you know. And of course, I've been around farm animals my whole life,
Hmm.
and so I hear it coming, and I'm like, "What the heck is that?" And all of a sudden, just like you, I got this command in my head: "Do not come out here," kind of thing. You know, kind of very abrupt and a little gruff.
Hmm.
Kind of shocked me. And of course, I have many telepathic experience with my twin brother, which is very common among identical twins. And so I knew what it was, and I can't tell you that I knew exactly what it was, but I had a really good idea of what it was. And I remember after it passed, I was kind of hesitant about going out, but I went out and I looked at the trail, and there were places on there. A lot of it was red rock, and there was sand there, you know,
Hmm.
and I didn't see any footprints. So I probably walked 50 yards. But red rock contains a lot of iron in it, and then sometimes under that red rock you will find granite, and which is inundated with quartz. And so at that point in time, it becomes like a not only a receiver but a transmitter. And so in some of those places where you have granite, you have a lot of paranormal activity. So I
Oh yeah.
don't know. And that was in Caddo County, I think. And some of the guys that I know, and some of the natives, they report. When I say report, I hear their stories.
Hmm.
Sometimes past, second person, sometimes third, that their uncle or somebody else had experienced some sort of encounter in these areas. And so I think a lot of it has to do not only with the area being more active, but I think sometimes it's the right people they encounter, because
Right.
they know the people to encounter will respect them, and some people they don't.
Right.
So
Yeah, because in my experience out there, where I did my first taping, was also an area that I frequented when my parents were alive, and we had a lot of different um, things happen, um, camping out there and picnicking out there. So I kind of knew that that area was a little active as far as uh, the paranormal goes,
right, right,
but I wasn't so sure about the cryptid side. You know, the bipedal creatures, because I knew all about the buffalo and the mountain
right,
lions and all that that go through there. Which the reason why this thing didn't let me go into that area, I found out a week later. I went in there because it had rained while I wasn't there for
right,
that week. I went back in there. I mean, and they allowed me to go in there this time. They didn't say no, don't go in there. I went there and filmed. I kept taking pictures of everything around, and sure enough, in the path where I would have walked, there was mountain lion tracks, and there was a thumbprint, a fist print like this, with the thumb sticking out, like something heavy leaning down with a hand leaning down to balance themselves as they're running after this thing, because both tracks were made around the same time, and the way that they were situated looked as if something bipedal was chasing the mountain lion. So yeah, I had that in my very first video, and that made me um, not so much want to go in there in that area by myself again, because knowing that there's a trailhead there, not only for people, but then you also have the the trail where the animals run through, the buffalo all the time. But having an experience with a mountain lion out there, personal experience, I knew they were out there. other people was like, no, there ain't no mountain lions out here. I'm like,
Is that in Lawton area?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I grew up in Lawton, and we had some land at Cache. And so the first Bigfoot experience I had was about 5 miles south of the wildlife refuge there in south of Cache. So they're there, and I know they are. But, we had property between Indiahoma and Cache. And so there's, I think, Cache Creek that runs through there. And I think they run up and down Cache Creek. We had interesting activity on our property. I'd go out hog hunting with my son, and you would hear animals out there that it would be like you trying to imitate a hoot owl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I've seen those kind of things or heard them, and my son grew up down there, and I never heard those kinds of animals make those kinds of sounds, so I knew it was a fake sound. And I think it's their way of maybe trying to say there's other humans here, whatever, leave, and it's not safe. But it's kind of a scary feeling.
Do you still have the land down there?
Do what?
Do you still have the land down there?
No, we sold it,
Own it?
Yep. But I know people down there, and there's a lot of, like you were saying, Harold, there's a lot of cat activity down there, mountain lions and things. Yeah. I've seen mountain lions twice down there at least. And then they're chasing the deer, and I think that Bigfoot eats them too, and whatever. So yeah, I never found any Bigfoot tracks, but I will tell you, when my dad was alive, he shot some pigs on the property and dragged them away and dumped them. He called it relocating, so he dumped the pigs on the back of the property. And he told me about it. And so I got my rifle and I went to see the pigs, and I'm like, I know pigs around, so might have to shoot one. But I never went on the property when I would get because of the pigs. And so I go back there and I'm checking, and there were about 60 to 80 pound pigs, right? And anyways, one of the pigs had laid there for a couple of days, and you could see, this is in the summer, where the pig had laid, and we'll just say oils or juices, whatever you want to call it, were there in that spot,
right?
And it like grease covered, but the pig was gone. And I'm thinking whatever it was coyotes. So they would eat the thing there and tear it apart. But whatever it was, and it could only be two things: either a bear picked it up and walked off with it, or drug it off, or a mountain lion. No. So I'm looking for drag marks, because I don't know how they could really pick it up without it dragging, either a hoof or whatever.
Right.
I never found any tracks, and I walked the whole fence row, and I never found anywhere where they crossed or how they got that pig through the fence.
Right.
And I told my dad that, and I said, I walked in and I looked, and I never did see. But I suspected, based on earlier encounters that I'd had, way back in the 80s, that it could be a Bigfoot. So.
Oh yeah. My mom had an experience, and I had this very exact same experience as her a few nights later, but camping out in the Doris campground. They're in the wildlife refuge.
Yep.
Full moon night, right? With her, it was almost full, but she's the only one awake, and she hears something outside the tent, and so does our little dog. So she unzips the door of the tent a little bit, and she's looking right out at the moon, and she sees the silhouette of something towering over the tent, and it's got wavy, moving hair, kind of straight, but waving with the wind and all that. She doesn't see any features. She just sees the outline, and then the darkened figure standing between her and the moon. Right. So she doesn't tell us about it until a few days later, when it is a full moon and I'm the only one awake, everyone else is asleep except me and the dog's sitting there at the opening of the tent growling. So I slowly unzip that tent and it opens just enough to where I'm like this looking out of it.
Right.
I looked right up towards the moon and I don't see anything. But then I look off to the side a little bit and in steps this dark, tall figure. And it had the dark silhouette with the
Right.
moonlight hitting the top of its head. And you could see brownish color and the hair just coming down. And it's just standing there. And the dog's growling. I grab the dog around his chest and I pull her back. So she stops growling. But then this thing standing outside the tent goes and then walks away. So I'm like, okay, experience number one with me and a possible Bigfoot. Didn't know it at the time, but you know, where else are you going to see a bipedal creature that stands to anywhere between 7 and 9 feet?
Yeah.
You know, thing towering over you, standing at your tent, and then you hear big, floppy steps as it walks away. Until the next time I had that experience was with the coyote coming around my tent, flopping down next to me. I got my back against the wall of the tent, and this coyote just plops down, and then you hear bipedal steps all the way around the tent, and then you start hearing these gourds playing, right? So I'm like, you know, what's going on here? Come to find out, the indigenous tribes around there, they knew we were staying out there, and they knew we were the only ones out there. And I had met up by accident, by happenstance, met up with a medicine man who told me, he just grabbed my hand when I was going into a store near there. He grabbed my arm and says, you need to tell her to put things back, right? Because my mom at the time liked to collect rocks, right? So she wasn't putting things back or putting something in place of what she was taking. So I told her, you need to start putting things in place. If you're going to take these rocks, make sure you use them for a good purpose, first and foremost, and replace them with something natural. So she had this big pile in the van, right? And the night before she decides to put them back, we're getting ready to go to bed, and we're sitting at the picnic table. And I just got done at the van, and I walk and I sit down on the picnic table. And as soon as I look over at the van, I just locked the door, right? I just physically locked the door, and I sit down and the door opens wide up, right? It opens wide open and then slams shut, right? And I'm like, I just locked that. There's no way, so there's one thing. But then the very next night, after she put everything back, we didn't get any more happening, right? It's all calm because she did that and she admitted her wrong. And it was, I didn't realize it, but about a week before that, going up to the showers at night by myself, and the wind blowing through those restrooms, the shower rooms and all that, hearing my name being called, right? Nobody there knows my name unless somebody heard it.
Right.
Somebody that was passing by or whatever heard my mom and dad mention my name. or the park ranger that I hung out with during the day. But you know, so what park ranger is gonna go out and play a trick? There are some that might do that, scare somebody, but I'm like, nah, it can't be. But I'm hearing my nickname, I'm hearing my full name, and I'm hearing tell her to put it back. So getting to the point, I've experienced in that area, experienced the full realm of things, the paranormal, the woo, the the nature doing its thing, with the mountain lion coming into our camp, protecting its babies, wanting to feed its babies, its young, their cubs. So I put myself in those situations. So whatever happened was due to the fact that we were in a place that we normally wouldn't be. So when something like that happens, and then you tell people they're supposed to know about these things, and then they totally deny it. People that work in certain positions, and they're like, "Oh no, it was, you probably just saw a buffalo. You probably just heard a buffalo." Like, does a buffalo walk low to the ground with its shoulders forward and its eyes almost touching the ground? And do they have a tail that comes and curls up behind? No. And they're not orange. The majority of buffalo aren't orange, and they don't have 4 little calves following behind them, because they don't normally have that many young. And then to see the male counterpart and to have coffee can sized paw prints. Buffalo don't have paws. Buffaloes have hooves. So when a government official says, "Oh, you just saw a buffalo," I'm like, okay.
That's the same thing. Go look at Dave Politis in the 411. It's the same thing. We always wonder why they don't tell the truth, but how many people will fake things to keep their money, or to keep making their money, not get fired. So they got to kind of do what they're told. And I think that their whole thing is, if people are scared, they're not going to come to the refuge and camp. But
right,
I can tell you,
that's exactly what they told us too. They said, "Well, we don't want to scare off any campers." Like, we're the only campers. There's nobody else to scare off.
If you get scared off, you're not going to come back either. But the West Range, where 115 goes into the refuge going north, that West Range, I hear that there's a lot of activity out there with Bigfoot, and that's not too far from where our property was. So with all the elk and the deer out there, and some people say, "Yeah, I don't think they're hunter. They don't eat this. They don't eat that." Well, okay, whatever. But there's a lot of elk and deer out there, so they got food. But supposedly there's been a number of people that have seen, military people. You talk about them among one another, but it's never going to go into a report.
Right.
That they see these kind of things out there. So.
Oh yeah, I met all the time with guys that were currently in the service. They would come out there for a weekend and camp, and they would talk about things that they saw out there. Not things about what they saw on base, so to speak, but things that they would see out there. And a lot of those stories were matching up to what I've discovered since then. So,
right.
Yeah,
but that's the thing with this stuff. A lot of people don't believe in the woo, and I can tell you that I used to work with a couple of psychic mediums, and the information they came up with, there was no way in God's green earth that they would know. And so, when you see it happen in person, it's like, even though I've got formal training and schooling in parapsychology, you're telling yourself these are the things you learned and they happen, but you really don't realize it happens until it happens to you.
Right.
I think that once you have enough of those experiences, that and it goes back to, like I said, I heard a lot of people over the past tell me their ghost stories, and again, they would ask me, do I believe them? And I wasn't a first-hand witness, but with all the encounters like you that I went through, I now know that they're not lying. And there were just too many things that they had in common. So I couldn't go to court and raise my right hand and say, I'm a witness to this, but they all have little things that are in common. You go back to Bigfoot and the Woo and telepathy. And when Betty and Barney were supposedly abducted, by the aliens, they revealed to them a star system that, as far as I know, and I could be wrong, willing to admit it, but I don't think I am, and that is the star system that both of them were told telepathically existed and where these supposed aliens came from.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't see that star system until 30 years later. And so how did they get that information? So, sometimes, Harold, the proof is in the pudding,
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. And a lot of people, until they're given a bowl full of that pudding in the spoon, is when they realize it's real. So a lot of people, it's easy to discount, but there's also a gene. Let's see, the gene is TNRC7. And that's the gene they say is responsible for psychic gifts in people. And some people it's more pronounced in. And not to sound like a racist or anything, but typically it's people in third world countries and less developed. And that gene is mutated and kind of hindered and stumped their perceptions. And it's funny because one of the persons that I work with is Native American and full blood. And I don't know how she knows what she knows, but I would be the only one that had the information, and I would call her out. And she works with the Catholic Church as well. And I would call her in on these kind of these dark cases that might be, demonic or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd call her and say, hey, come, and I'd give her the address. And there's no way that she could have come up with the information she came up. And it's not like, you saw a creature that was black, right? Oh, no. Red? No. Brown? Purple? It wasn't anything like that.
Right.
It was that she knew, and just like I did. And I don't know if somehow she had telepathy or she had a gift, but either way, it's a gift. And she would shake somebody's hand and use psychometry and know all about that person.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I go to investigate, maybe the mom would tell me something about the son, and I didn't know, but she would shake their hand, and then she would just know. And so, are these things absolutely real? Does it happen? Absolutely. There are people out there like Gerard Corset, Peter Herkoff, and others that are proved psychics, and there are some that are mediums. We can get into that. I think that they all have this ability, and I think it's their environment. And a lot of people say we're related to them. I don't know if we are or aren't, but according to DNA, there's a good chance we are. And so they went down that better path of development, or they kept what we used to have, and now we don't have it. And I think that's a better explanation of it, that we used to have those gifts, and I experienced them as a twin. And then there are a lot of people that are twins that sometimes have these experiences that they can't explain. But I do think that a lot of it is DNA driven. I think that some of it can also be the pineal gland, in the brain, the third eye, and that's what they call it. It has visual receptors and whatever on it. So some people just have a more active experience, if you want to call it that. And it could be based on DNA or the side of that gland or something else,
Right. Well, Ron, I'm gonna let Christy go ahead and do her segment.
All right.
But it was great talking to you again, as always.
Yeah, next time you come to Guthrie, let me know, and we'll see if we can get together.
All right, man. I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'll definitely do that.
All right, love you guys. Take care. God bless.
Love you too. God bless.
All right, need something, call,
Same here.
Let me disconnect or what?
All right, yeah, y'all. That was Ron Cross. If y'all haven't subscribed to his YouTube channel or look him up on Facebook, go and do that, because he's got he's got a very cool Facebook page that he's associated with, and then of course if you look up his cert things on YouTube, it's very knowledgeable. So go and check that out.
This link.
Yeah, so check that link out and subscribe to his channel. So right now I'm gonna let Christy go ahead and do her segment. I gotta set up the camera to record the segment, so I'll be right back.
Yay. I'm going to move over.
Turn the camera on.
Don't forget to plug in the microphone this time.
Yep.
So that was a very interesting conversation we had with Ron. Yes, it was. Sometimes I believe in mediums, so like the Long Island medium, I've seen a lot of her stuff, so do I believe everything that she says? She's very knowledgeable in what she does, so I think she's legit. So, how do I do the music thing? Don't leave yet. Okay, get ready. If you have your phones in, turn them down just a little bit because the music might be a little loud.
Here we are. It's just right here, and you click on it.
Okay, let's do this.
Tell me something worth smiling about. Laughter and love, let them echo, no doubt. In a world that sings with a joyful sound, we'll find our hope in the beauty we found. So let's create memories, let the dreams take flight. See R.J. Malum design shining so bright. In every heartbeat, together we'll shout. Tell me something worth smiling about.
Okay, I don't know what he's doing.
Trying to get it off.
Okay. Hi. All right, it's the segment. Tell me something we're smiling about. Let's do this. Of course, I am the first one to give you guys something worth smiling about. I don't know. What? It's been a rough week, so I really don't know. So, thanks, face. So you guys give me something worth smiling about, and I'll tell you something worth smiling about. Yes, and I like that song. Harold actually kind of wrote it. So maybe that's something worth smiling about. I have to show you my shirt. It's a very kind of old shirt, but it says "Be the difference." It was a big thing at work for people to be the difference. So yes, we do, CP. We have a nice group of people in this chat. Yes, we do. And that's worth something to smile about, or something good. It most definitely is. Yeah, we are, Grace, and so yeah. I don't know what else to say. The dollar store has Christmas on sale, 70% off. That's worth smiling about. If you have the money to buy it, yes, most definitely something worth smiling about. Um, I've bought a few things for after Christmas sales that were Christmas stuff. So I'm hoping that our van gets fixed this weekend. That's what I'm smiling about. And that the snow stays away. So yeah. And of course Harold went outside to have a smoke. So what else are you guys happy about? I bought cinnamon brooms cheap there with the sale. Oh, I love those. The big ones? The cinnamon brooms that are at the dollar store. They're amazing. They're about half price. Yeah. I like cinnamon anything. Cinnamon candy, cinnamon candles. So. Tyler, it's good to see you. But yeah. All right. Well, there's not too many people in here, so 70% off when I got them. That's so cool. All right, all right. Are you back over here, Harold? Because I think I'm good now. All right. Stay tuned for the next one. See you guys later. Of course, I'm going to be back on here, but it's all right, Grace. You're fine.
All right, I'm back.
I don't like this. So, no.
So, what I can give for everyone to smile about is, of course, like I said earlier, I am happy to be hosting on Wednesday nights and happy that I have my co-host with me and everybody in the chat. And yeah, get to live and breathe another day on this earth. That's always something worth smiling about. We don't live in Russia. So, let's see. What is the temperature supposed to be like this weekend?
Cold.
Cold? Frigid cold or just...
Colder than it was yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
It's a month of Valentine's Day there. Is that something worth smiling about?
Yeah, month to Valentine's Day. Yay.
In the 40s and 50s. Sunday it's supposed to be the highest, 58.
Oh. Could be worse. We could be in the negatives. That's something to smile about. We don't have to go through the negative weather. Sorry to everyone else that is having to go through it right now, but just pray for warmer weather for everyone. So, this sign right here, Happy New Year. Probably going to change it like the week of Valentine's Day to hopefully it'll fit the words.
I don't think Happy Valentine's Day will go up there. I think it'll be too.
Well, we can always do away with the O.C.S.T. and just put Happy Valentine's Day. We'll try it. But yeah, see, Ron, you just did the camera, so this time I remembered the audio. So hopefully we'll be able to post her segment.
I don't care if you don't.
Yeah, John says, we have met kind, smart, and curious friends on here. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. And I hope to have even more guests on the show here in the near future. I've got to talk to a couple of people. Everybody knows one of them, trying to get him on. I haven't set a date with him yet, but everybody will know him when he comes on, though. But other than that, I'm still advertising. So if anybody watching the show is not in the chat, if you want to come on the show, just hit us up at harbudm1972@gmail.com. That's HARBUD M1972@gmail.com. Yep, it's in the chat. So, or you can direct message either me or Christy on Facebook. And hopefully we'll get you lined up and scheduled for an interview and come on here and have some fun talking about cryptids or other stuff. Yep, so you can contact Christy and her email. Just send us a message saying I would like to be on the show. Because we can also, if it's more convenient, you don't have to be on live. We can do a recording session where we can air your interview on our show. You don't exactly have to be live.
You don't have to be on camera neither.
Yeah, and you don't have to be on camera. You can turn your camera off like that. There's one thing we need to do. We need to finish putting up the rest of the stickers.
The rest of the stickers weren't going to go up on the wall.
Oh, they're not?
No, because this wall's going to change
Okay.
as soon as I can get the black paint.
Okay.
Yes, I was born in 80. And I'm sorry. Say what? What do you mean, Grace? That I was born in 80? Yep.
Yeah.
I'm old. I'm ancient.
I'm almost 10 years older. I'm 8 years older, so I'm ancient.
Yeah, and you robbed the cradle.
Well, at least I kept it within a decade.
What John said. Yeah, John, I feel sorry for Terry if you have underwear that are 45 years old. Oh, wait, you do your own laundry. That's right. I forgot.
It's his Sunday wear because they're holy.
I was born at 63, please.
Yeah, I was born in 72. I was born in the transition time between rockabilly and country music.
Yeah, you're a rockabilly, all right.
Mm-hmm.
You're a rocky hillbilly.
Yeah. I always say I was born in the wrong era. Or maybe I had a past life in another era. Who knows? But
I don't blame her, John.
you have the change room where you have to get sprayed before you go in, and then sprayed on your way out.
So you have to. Never mind. TMI. I don't know. I think 90s music was one of the best country music decades.
90s was alright.
But then again, I like older country music.
Mm-hmm. 90s music was alright, but classic country is country. You had the era, like I said, the rockabilly era. Then it kind of transitioned into.
So you're saying you wear those ones to mass, John?
I ain't saying they're massively holy.
I have shirts that are like that. Does that count? Is this my religious shirt? Because it's holy?
No, your religious one is the gray one.
Yeah, what's in the dryer right now?
It's the most holy of.
Good night, CP.
Good night, CP. Get some sleep.
Don't get too much snow. Keep us posted.
Yeah. Hopefully, if you like snow, hopefully you get a little bit. If you don't like snow, hopefully you don't get any. But you never know. Weathermen aren't always right. In fact, they're hardly ever right.
John, I love all kinds of music except for heavy death metal. Ugh, music shouldn't make your ears bleed. And then Grace goes, it seems like the music in the movies are crappy now. They just need to leave the movies alone.
Well,
all the movies that are good movies, they just need to leave them alone.
Hollywood's kind of run out of ideas, so they're trying to do remakes, and those flop every single time. Doing a remake, just leave the classics alone and come up with your own ideas. You know, it's a little bit different if you're talking about movies from way back, the black and white movies from that era, and you're doing a modern version of it. But don't try to do a classic TV show and turn it into a comedy movie. That just doesn't work. AKA Dukes of Hazzard. Yeah, no, it was a good TV show. As a movie, comedy, nah. Ocean's 150. How many episodes can you do with that? Why don't you just turn it into a TV show?
I think I'm getting old to sit here and complain about movies.
Yeah.
But next, before I know, I'll be, get off my grass.
Get off my lawn. Oh, no. I don't want to be the one sitting on the front porch smacking some chaw and holding the shotgun and being, get off my lawn. No.
Well, you have the teeth for it.
But I don't have the shotgun for it.
Not yet. You can pretend, though.
Yeah,
You have that BB pew pew that looks kind of like a shotgun, I guess.
Yeah, when I was little, our neighbor had one. My grandpa and grandma's neighbor, who was the father of my kindergarten teacher.
Oh, yeah, that guy, he was nice. I only want snow on Christmas. Ron, you just messed up my reading. Then you just disappeared the thing. Okay, geez.
No,
we only got snow here twice in 100+ years. John, you need to move somewhere else besides Corpus Christi to get snow.
Yeah, both times it snowed, I wasn't there.
And that's sad. Why? You got more snow than he did.
Well, I would have liked to have been there to see the
chaos
bayfront freeze over. That would have been cool because I fished all the time out there. And then when we go and move away that winter, it froze over.
So is that kind of like heck freezing over?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ron, quit it. You're messing up the chat. I don't know if you can still hear me, but Harold's phone is connected to the computer, and every time
I'll look at my messages in a little while.
it pops up, it goes right over the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Ron.
Not his fault.
I know I'm picking on him.
But yeah, Ron, I'll check out your messages in a little bit.
Oh, and hey, Ron, we go to Guthrie every Friday.
Yep.
Spare me. It's my favorite place in the world.
No, it's just it has a location that's one of your favorite in the world.
It's old John's fault. Just kidding. The thing should be scrolling is for entertainment purposes only. I was kidding.
Yeah, I kind of had to remove that for a little bit and then I forgot to put it back up.
Right there.
I don't know. Is that the... Nope, here's the ticker. There.
There. So I don't get my butt in trouble.
Yeah, I like the old black and white movies too.
Grace goes, I was at the Barnes & Noble bookstore the other day, and a lady walked in asking about Donald Trump's book on immigration. The employer told her to get the out and don't come back. Interesting. We got snow last year. Sharon Guy says it was so fluffy and pretty. We never got snow like that before. It's always been wet and packing.
Mm-hmm. John says, favorite black and white movie? His is To Kill a Mockingbird with Gregory Peck. Yeah, that's an awesome movie. If you haven't seen that movie, you need to check it out.
I think I've seen it. I think I did a. Was there a book also to go with that? Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah.
Because you had to read the book first and then watch the movie and then compare the two. Gotta love high school.
She said that's it. Do you have it in paperback?
Jeez.
You had Fluffy Deep Snow. Sharon.
Don't want it right now. For us, it's almost too late in the year, but we need the moisture.
If it's gonna snow a lot, it better be the right kind of snow to where you can actually get out in it and make a snowman, an igloo, snow fort.
We live in Oklahoma, not Iowa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. I got spoiled growing up with the snowfalls that
Down
cover
2 feet.
Yeah, and then having my grandparents' front yard with the picket fence and that snow piling up over it about 10, 12, 15 foot high. And then the house actually getting buried.
Is that why Johnny Cash's song "How Deep Is the Water, Mama"? Is that why all the snow melted and the water rose? Oh wait, that's Arkansas.
Yeah. Little history lesson here. Now, my grandpa told me about this before I learned about it in history. Back in the 1930s.
You got 2 minutes to tell your story.
Yeah. Back in the 1930s, not only did they get rain, I mean, lots of rain, but they had the storms, where it blew fish out of the water and it rained fish. So that area, when they were going through the Depression, they got fed well. Lots of fish, fresh fish they were able to pick up, but they also had the floods through there that really ravaged the area. And that's what Johnny Cash made the song about, how high is the water, mama? Well, my family has passed it down through generations now. That one of our great uncles was the one that actually handed Johnny Cash to his mother, and that's how that the history of that song goes. But if you live in areas like the mountains of Arkansas, every once in a while, it's going to probably skip a couple generations, but there's massive flooding that happens like that, and to have it go through the depression where there's hardly any food available, and then people get miracles that happen like that. Tragedy in one area, but miracle in another. But it's
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
I can't believe you told the story that fast. Whoa. Because, yeah, I've known that story.
So, any of y'all that are sticking around here, if you want to go check out AI Mike on Abnormal Investigations,
he's live right now.
Yeah, he's live right now. I don't think Midwest Night Watchers is doing a Wednesday show anymore for the time being. They say they were switching to Fridays.
So Fridays at 10 p.m.
Fridays
Central.
10 p.m. Central. Check out Midwest Night Watchers. And go subscribe to Ron Cross's YouTube and check him out on Facebook. And y'all make sure you like, share, and subscribe our channel. And check out CRJ Milam Designs. Also, subscribe to her channel and check her out on Facebook and check out O.C.S.T on Facebook. Don't forget to leave a comment after the show. It helps our algorithm, and we will see you guys next week, 6 p.m. Central, right here on Bigfoot stuff. So,
keep squatching, everybody.
Good night, all.
And remember to be kind.
Yeah. Stay safe.
Squatch dogs.
Early music fills the air, echoing through the night.
Squatch dogs.
Whispers in the woods where shadows play. Legends come alive at the break of day. Footsteps echo loud, but no one's there. Bigfoot's lurking in the midnight air. Fragmented house beneath the moonlit gloom. Eyes that shine like fire in a room of doom. Poltergeist dancing, moving through the halls. Ancient secrets breaking through the walls. O.C.S.T is more than a name. Bigfoot and stuff, it's a whole new game. Chasing the truth in a silent night. Empowered by the mystery, fueled by the fright. Cryptids in your mind, let your wonder grow. The hidden world is ours to know. From the forest deep to the attic's gusto. O.C.S.T, we're learning to trust. Tracks in the snow where the brave won't tread. Hidden voices calling from the things we've read. The unknown sings with a haunting sound, empowering us as the tales go around. O.C.S.T, it's more than a name. Bigfoot and stuff, it's a whole new game. Chasing the truth in the silent night. Empowered by the mystery, fueled by the fight. O.C.S.T, it's more than a name. Bigfoot and stuff, it's a whole new game. Chasing the truth in the silent night. Empowered by the mystery, fueled by the fight.
Bye.